new poll showing Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders suddenly within striking distance of Hillary Clinton in Iowa. In the Des Moines Register Bloomberg Politics poll, Sanders trails Clinton by just 7 points, 37 to 30. Sanders has nearly doubled his support since May, when he trailed by more than 40 points. Clinton, meanwhile, below 50% in this poll for the first time all cycle. Also, 61% of Iowa Democrats say the controversy surrounding Clinton's use of private email as Secretary of State is not important to them, while just 10% say it's very important. But Carol, it's interesting, we're seeing each candidate kind of consistently moving in a different direction, one that you wouldn't expect, really.
Yeah, and what's interesting in this poll is that you're seeing that on both sides. This unsettled electorate is showing up in the Republican side and on the Democratic side. And, you know, Hillary Clinton to drop 20 points since May, that's a big deal for her. And she is going to have to try to figure out how to reboot there. And then when you look at Bernie Sanders, you know, he's out there making this case that, you know, whatever the Clinton campaign is doing, that has nothing to do with him. His campaign's just doing really well.
Right.
And so he's shifting his tone a little.
Hard. And
he's just out there campaigning.
20 points.
Yeah. And then I was going to mention, you know, the vice president is an interesting component of all this,
right,
because were he decide to get into this race, he's this weird mix of a establishment politician and yet would be possibly seen as an insurgent candidate. And so it's not clear exactly, once he were to actually get in the race, how this kind of an electorate would view him.
Well, it would be interesting, him against Trump.
She has lost a third of her support since May.
So I want to know if there's precedent.
A third of her support. And he is right now, our pollster on this, Ann Seltzer, says it reminds her a lot of 2008 in terms of the coalition that Sanders is building in Iowa. Young voters, liberals, and new first-time caucus goers, people who have not ever caucused before. That is the Obama coalition in Iowa. She is on a trajectory that's dramatically downward. You know, if you think back to 4 years ago or 8 years ago, she was leading in Iowa by 6 or 7 points over John Edwards around this time, and a few more points over Barack Obama at this time. So it's again, the dynamics are strikingly similar to what was going on then in that state in that cycle.
We might